Hello, everyone. I stopped by my jeweler and coin dealer guy's shop. When I was walked in, there's this guy trying to sell a gold chain. This is a 1 gram buffalo bar, which I ended up buying today. Whoops, it's pretty small. But anyway, the guy was very pushy. The coin dealer said, "Well, you have a certain amount of penny weight of gold, and it's," and he made him an offer. And the guy was adamant that he needed to pay him more than what the offer was. And he kind of raised his voice and was very pushy about it. It's not a good idea if you want to, you know, sell something to a coin dealer guy or a jeweler or whatever to try to dictate to them what they will pay. Now, I also got this. It's a sterling silver round here. I don't know if I can read that or not. It's upside down. No wonder I can't read that. Okay. 1788 Shades of Rebellion. That's neat. Got another one. I'll show you this. Anyway, he kept, kind of raising his voice a little bit, and the coin dealer guy was dealing with him best he could, and finally told him, well, there are uh, pawn shops. You could go try them. 1785 land ordinance becomes law. That's kind of neat. It's got what looks like a surveyor here. And that's a sterling silver piece. There's another sterling silver piece, which is kind of neat looking. Well, the guy walked out angry and kind of mumbled something as he left. And then the coin dealer talked to another customers there and me, and since he's trying to dictate to me what I was going to pay for that. Let's see, Congress ratifies peace treaty 1784. That's neat too. Anyway, well, he had a bag of these. I saw him Friday, but had four of these little round sterling silver pieces and the silver 1 gram silver bar in it. Let's see. He's like, the Constitution is approved, or approved, not is approved. But anyway, he tried to tell him, you have to pay me this much money to buy this, gold piece chain. And ultimately, he told him to try a pawn shop or something. Well, guy wasn't happy. And after he left, we talked about it for a few minutes. Me and the other guy that was there. It's a 61 um, Roosevelt dime, kind of beat up and dirty. And he's like, I'm the one buying it. It's like, he said, sometimes I'll make an offer and a person will have rubbed me the wrong way and leaves and then comes back the next day wanting the same offer. And I'm like, I'm not really interested now. So it's one thing to consider if you go to a coin shop or a jeweler or whatever and try to sell him something, be respectful. It's his business and he's making you an offer. And if you don't think it's fair, you don't have to sell it. You can try someone else. This is a Standing Liberty slick. Pretty much the date's gone. Got that today too. And then the last thing I got that I thought was kind of interesting. This is a very slick Seated Liberty quarter. It's almost to the point of being a chip. Now, the mint mark is still on it. It's an S mint. Your Seated Liberty coins, this is the reverse. It's kind of hard to see the front. But there it is. It's barely there now. Anyway, this is going to go into my treasure chest challenge. These 2 quarters and this dime. But I'm going to keep this one separate from the bag so I can keep it handy. But anyway, if you're going to sell anything to anybody that runs a shop like that, you have to keep in mind that you look it up on the internet and you see them selling on eBay or something. And this might be a $2 piece online. I can't remember what 1 gram bars were running. They're very thin and very small. It says 39 silver on the back. But be respectful when you go in to try to sell something to somebody. And it also helps if you have been a customer at the guy's shop for a long time, going in and buying stuff from time to time. And it's more likely to be willing to work with you if you're a repeat customer who's been in there a lot and stuff. But if you've never been to the shop before and you're trying to sell something, he doesn't really know you yet. If you're respectful, and he makes an offer and you say, well, I'd kind of like more than that. Can you do better? Can you do any better? And then if he says, well, I can't, well, thank him for his offer and then say, well, I can't accept that right now. I go around and ask a few other people and they don't offer me anything, will the offer stand a week from now or something like that, something more respectful than just saying you'll pay me this much for this gold chain or whatever. That's kind of neat looking. Well, a lot of details they put on these little coins. Well, rounds. They're not really coins. And there's no denomination on them. He said they were made by the Franklin Mint, and they're supposed to be sterling. Let's see. It does say sterling on the back here. It's pretty hard to read, though. Sterling. Looks like it says 76 on it. Like maybe they made these in 1976. I think it says 76. It's such tiny printing on there, it's hard to tell. But yeah, you go to a coin dealer, a pawn shop, jewelry store that deals in coins and silver and gold. If they make you an offer but you don't like the offer, politely ask if they can do better if you want, or just say, well, I can't accept that price, and thank them for their time, and then go about seeing if you can get a better price somewhere else. Now, this guy probably offered a higher price than what the pawn shops will. Now, incidentally, I was at a pawn shop this weekend, and somebody had a little gold chain they were trying to sell to them. And I heard him say that he was measuring it by penny weight, which is what this guy was doing, that guy's chain. They measure them by penny weight and then take the price of gold and then kind of calculate how many penny weights there are and how much they think they can sell it for if they buy it, say. And he made him a decent offer. He said it's probably higher than what the pawn shop will offer. But, well, I don't know. But anyway, go in, make your offer, show him what you want to sell and get his offer. And if it's suitable and you like the offer, accept it. And if you don't like the offer, just say thanks for the offer. I can't sell it for that price. And they'll understand and that's not being disrespectful about it. Because it's real easy to be disrespectful about it by copying an attitude and demanding someone pay you something for something when they're the one that's got the money and is going to buy it. And then they're going to be the one that turns around and sells it. You don't get to dictate to that guy that way. Now, if you're doing a vending show or something and you have stuff on your table and someone says, well, how much for this gold chain? And it's yours and you're selling it. You tell them the price. And if they don't want it, well, then you can negotiate if you want, or you can just say, that's the price. That's what I have to have. And if they don't want it, they don't have to buy it. So anyway, I wanted to cover that today because it made a impression on me, the way the guy, just how his attitude was. He's very pushy and bossy sounding, trying to tell the buyer what he was going to pay for it. And he's like, he told us afterwards, I'm giving you the money for it. I have to turn around and resell it, you know. And he's trying to tell me I need to pay this much for it when I'm offering him this much. It just doesn't work that way. So be respectful if you take something to a guy and try to sell it to him. You know, they're in business to make money, so they're not going to be able to pay you whatever price you see online for something. Like, say this was a better conditioned one, and online, everywhere I looked, it said it was a $50 coin, which is a nicer seated Liberty quarter might be. This certainly isn't, though. It's totally worn out. But, you know, if you take it to sell it, and everywhere you look at that year and that mint says $50, you know, you go to the coin dealer and say, well, I want $50. He's going to look up at his gray sheet and stuff, and maybe search online for a minute or two, and then come back and tell you, I can offer you $40 for it, maybe, you know, or 35. The reason being is because if he pays you $50 for something that the book and everywhere you look says is worth $50, he turns around and sells it for $50. He's made no money, tied up his money into a coin, you know, for however long it takes him to sell it. And then he sold it for exactly what he paid for it. You're not going to stay in business as a coin dealer with overhead, a shop in a, you know, wherever his shop is. You know, you got to pay for the rent, or if you own it, you still got to pay property taxes, electricity, all the stuff that you have to pay for with a physical store. You know, even if you're a sole proprietor, you still got, you know, make enough money to pay all your bills and still have money made at the end of the day. Otherwise, it's a hobby and you're just occupying a space and not really doing anything. You know, so that's what I wanted to get across. And I hope you all have a good night, and we'll see you next time.